Today on the channel, you had me at face paint with the Unsanctioned Classic Superstars Ringside Collectibles exclusive Axe, Smash, Demolition, Regular, and Variant Edition.
And the spirit of Ultimate Warrior will run forever!
Welcome everyone, Kyle here, back again with another Demolition unboxing and review. And today on the channel, we're taking a trip to the Unsanctioned Classic Superstars line, the Ringside Collectibles exclusive for Axe and Smash, Demolition, Regular, and Variant Edition. But for all your Demolition needs, Ringside Collectibles, use code Kyle, save yourself 10%. Got to get a deal out there. We know how that goes as well. And we know how we're going to do this review. We're going to do it like all the other ones on the channel. We're going to take a look at the packaging. We're going to talk about it. We're going to unbox it. We're going to talk about it. We're going to see where it goes from there. And man, oh man, we're eating good in the neighborhood like Applebee's here at the end of 2025. So many Demolition figures, so little time at this point as we got these two sets here. Ringside has the exclusive Bell to Bell line coming very soon as well. We just unboxed Matt Maniac's retro figures. We got Big Rubber Guys arriving any day now. You got Latuni with some Big Rubber Guy style figures of Demolition. What about, I'm missing the Mattel Elites. We got the Mattel Elites right around the corner. Just absolutely wild how we go years with no Demolition figures to all of a sudden just Demolition after Demolition after Demolition. But man, I am here for that. Demolition, one of my all-time favorite tag teams. I actually knew about Demolition before I knew about the Road Warriors. Now, I prefer the Road Warriors, but Demolition was no joke to little Kyle. They're no joke to old man Kyle either. I love the Axe and Smash figures, and these are definitely welcomed in my collection here. And a little business hat talk with this one. These are Ringside collectible exclusives. Earlier on this year, we did get the Road Warriors, which were amazing. The Legion of Doom, you know I'm here for that. Have to imagine they had the rights or in the plans to make Demolition around that time somewhere there. And you got to imagine Ringside a little disappointed, and it's a hard game, the action figure game this time of year, or this time in action figure collecting, more like it. I guess not just necessarily this year, but we see Mattel coming out with Demolition. Now, I'm guessing Ringside started this process before Demolition signed their Legends deal. And kind of is what it is, unfortunately. But at least they got these out to retail before Mattel. I think that'll help the sales on these. But I can see, I know people got to vote with their wallet. There's some people saying, oh, I would have got these, but now I know Mattels are coming. I'm going to pass. I have to imagine that's the case. Same thing we saw with Heels and Faces. They announced a new Jack figure. Same time Mattel had one. It's just tough. It's tough. There's only so many dollars to go around, as we do know. However, I absolutely do love these figures coming off the Legion of Doom one. I'm very excited for Axe and Smash right here. Can't wait to dive into these. We got the regular and variant edition. Variant edition looks to be WrestleMania 4 edition when they beat Strikeforce for the tag team titles. Never forget, as we know. This is more your everyday Demolition, I guess what we'll call it. But we're going to dive into it. We're going to go regular version first. Why wouldn't we? And we'll do some comparisons later on in this video as well. I actually bought two sets of each of these. My plan is to display them in all the looks available. I'm a Demolition guy, so you know I got to step up for the old Demolition. Beautiful packaging. They do a lot of autograph signings. Be amazing to get their autographs on here. One thing this set has that Mattel Elite doesn't have, for instance, is Mattel Elite, they're going to be separate packages. This is all in one package. That's a pretty cool thing. That is a good selling feature for mid-on-box collectors as well, and especially autograph collectors, I do think. Axe and Smash looking good down there. Demolition, Axe, Smash, Unsanctioned Classic Superstars. You know my ears perk up whenever I hear that Classic Superstars name. Check out my book at Amazon and Barnes & Noble. I wrote once upon a time. Never forget, as we know. Beautiful packaging, though. Demolition, Axe and Smash. Demolition, Axe and Smash. On the back, look at that. We got a little bit of blurb action going on there. Let's see what it says about Demolition. Actually, might as well just show the other packaging and then I can read the same copyright. I'm assuming it's the exact same copyright. This is more of the WrestleMania 4, as I did mention earlier. Axe and Smash matching face paint over there from the figures, as you can imagine. Exclusive to Ringside. Ringside's the only place you're going to find these packs, so make sure you're headed over there. Axe and smash, axe and smash, axe and smash, jibber jabber down low. And then on the back, we got axe and smash looking good once again. Let's read the back on this one, see what it says, see what all the fuss is about. Here comes the axe, here comes the smasher. Demolition became one of the most dominant teams in wrestling history. They won the tag team championship 3 times with their hard-hitting style and their finishing move, decapitation. Their leather spikes and painted faces made them fan favorites and memorable icons of the era. And so many great tag team matches with Demolition once upon a time. I think back to the matches against the Hart Foundation were always amazing. Even when they faced off against the Rockers of the world. You know, a sleeper one would be Haku and Andre the Giant. I was all about that at WrestleMania. A lot of good stuff, Demolition. Even their stuff against the Legion of Doom Road Warriors, a dream matchup for many a little kid once upon a time. There was a lot of good memories with Demolition, and it's great to get these in action figure form now. Definitely here for it. Let's pull it out here. Let's whip it out. Let's whip out our Demolition. Looking good there. A little side shuffle action. A little plastic prison, axe and smash. Gonna do the same thing over here. We're just gonna do it in unison here with the variant edition and the regular edition. Be interested to hear which one you guys prefer if you're only picking up one set of these. Looking very nice there. But I'm gonna take this offline. I'm gonna get all these guys out of the package. We'll be back talking all things axe and smash Demolition. All right, we got Demolition out of the package. Let's go alphabetical first. Let's start with Axe. Let's start with the regular edition. Then we'll move over to the variant edition. How about that? And I guess let's start off with the accessories first. Same accessories between both sets. Makes a lot of sense. Get the most out of your molds. We know how that goes. We do get extra hands here. So Axe has a gripping hand, a fisted hand. Smash has the exact opposite hands there. What do you get over here? Well, you get 2 gripping hands, 2 fists of fury. So for whatever combination you want to use for Demolition, you can do that. You can mix and match. They're interchangeable. Same hands work for both guys. And we do get 2 sets of those, as you can imagine. So got those hands there. But now how about the Demolition mask? Looking like something out of Mad Max, as we do know. These masks, right to the first time feeling it here, feel a lot more like the classic Superstars ones of yesteryear than the Mattel harder plastic. Got a little bit more rubber, soft plastic to this one, which honestly I do prefer. I like a little bit of give in these masks, and I think they will fit better than maybe some of the other ones. And we'll save these off to the side here in a little bit, but you got all the spikes on there. You got all this stuff going on. It's Demolition mask. Somebody shows that to me, I know exactly who that goes to. And honestly, these could fit on the classic Superstars and maybe some of the other ones. If you're missing the mask, just like we said with the Road Warriors, hey, maybe you're missing those spikes for your Mattels. Buy an extra set, use those spikes over there. Maybe that's a possibility. We'll find out later on. But let's start with our friend Axe here. We got Axe out of the package. Of course, the older member of Demolition, the wiser member, and always seemed like the leader. It's always weird. It's a lot of tag teams, you always envision there's a leader. I always thought Axe was the leader over Smash. Maybe that was just me. Sound off in the comments if you want. We got Axe in classic face paint here with the red and silver. When I close my eyes and I think of Axe, that's what I think of. I don't really think of the WrestleMania 4 with all the darkness very often, but he obviously did wear that once upon a time. But this is the more iconic kind of face paint for Axe is what I think of. Very stern look on the face there, silver and red attack. Got the hair slicked back. Could we get the nice shiny hair from Survivor Series, whatever year that was, with Axe, where he had the crazy hair going on? Maybe one day. We do got the ears here. No face paint, no paint on the ears on this one. Now the second head, we got Axe with the tongue out. Now I always think of Demolition sticking the tongue out when they remove their masks. They would always do that. That's what I think of. So you do got a little yin and yang with Axe here. You like tongue in, you like tongue out. How do you like your Axe? I don't know, but we got 2 really good head sculpts on him there. But now diving into Axe as a figure. Very sturdy figure right here. Now these do look very close to Jazzwares figures. That's what we talked about with the Road Warriors. I still think the same thing here. These feel more AEW Jazzwares than WWE Mattel personally for me. That's the vibe I get a little bit more on these. And we'll compare them to those Road Warriors later in this video. But these guys seem a little bit buffer, maybe, bigger, musculature, maybe. But a little bit buffer, it feels like here. Now, we do got the Demolition jacket vest over the top. You got the studs going on against the black. Nice plastic on here. It's very movable, not going to be hard to get off if you want to, as I'm going to take it off right now on Axe. Very nice. I like this. I like when they're rubber like this instead of hard vests. Sometimes they're too hard to get off. This comes off with ease, so I'm here for that. But now diving into Axe a little bit more, and once again, we got a lot of ring gear on Axe. No chaps though, no chaps this go around. But we do got the forearm gauntlets here. Okay, you got to remove the hand and they will slide off with the hand. Yep, that's what they're going to do. I thought there was going to be a clip here, but it isn't. You take the hand off, you can slide those off if you want to. So that is a possibility if you want to do that with Axe. Now, looking at the body here, you do got the painted on, I don't even know what you call that. It's suspenders? I don't know what you call this exactly. Straps, I guess. We got the painted on straps. Now, different ways they could have went. I think this probably works the best. They could have had thin rubber ones. They could have had soft cloth ones, which wouldn't really work that well. I think this is maybe the way to go with these. Now, a little unnatural in the paint lines, and it's a little hard to do, as you can imagine. But as you can see around the torso here, it doesn't quite line up the way you really want it to, but that's just the way it's going to be. A little bit unnatural looking there in the stripes. So that is a little grievance I'm sure somebody's going to have on this one. You got the silver and black looking good. No paint problems on mine. You got the trunks here all in black with all the paint spots all over. I do get a little extra spot over here. Nothing too crazy that won't scratch off. Looking good. Now we do got traditional elbow pads here. For some reason I thought these were like attached to the figure like we see with some lines, but actually you can take these knee pads off. I think I said elbow pads. Knee pads can be removable. They do clip in and out if you want to. Very iconic Demolition boots down here at the bottom. Once again, the silver and black attack looking very nice there for old Axe. I am here for that. Now, does Axe fit on a ringside collectible Mattel standard Jazzwares? It's been a while. No, definitely not Mattel. They must fit on the Jazzware stands is my guess. What do you know? And that's where I bring a lot more comparisons to things there, as he does fit on here. And we'll walk through articulation maybe here with Smash or one of the other ones along the way. But let's dive into Smash here this time. I always did prefer Smash of the twosome. That was just me personally here. But out of the package, classic Smash. Reminds me back to the Hasbro days. He's got the red on the top of his head. When I was a kid playing with my wrestling figures, I always pretended this was blood coming out of Smash's head. He was getting busted open all the time. Looking very good with the white and the red face paint. 2 eyes, 2 ears, a nose, and a mouth, and a very long tongue for old Smash. Making Gene Simmons blush somewhere is what he's doing. Second head, we get the more stoic look on Smash. You can tell his mustache on both these heads as well. Got the longer hair going on. Looks like Smash. No confusion on this one. Very good. Like the eyes on him too, the black eyes. Very, very cool. So Axe and Smash, you gotta choose your own adventure. Like I said, I bought 2 of each of these sets. I think I'm gonna display a set with different heads, and then a set with the vest and gear on, and one with no gear on. I think that's my plan. Very wild though, but a good head there for Smash. Smash though, having the same exact stuff as Axe. Is it the same body? It looks to be about the same body to me. Same trunks. Obviously, all the ring gear is going to be the same, but there is some hallmark attention to details here for Smash. You do got his elbow pad over here, and you do have his tattoo underneath that elbow pad, which is good attention to detail. We know we've seen those left out in the past from figures from all toy lines where they miss a key tattoo, and that's a pretty key tattoo with Smash there. We also got that blue undersleeve on his knee pad he always wore back in the day. So we're playing a lot of hits for Smash right here. Now his arms do go all the way around. Bicep cut, double jointed pinless elbows, the hits being played right here. Hands back and forth, side to side. Head removable, obviously. Back and forth, side to side. Removable, as I said. Can I get it back on? There we go. You do got very ultimate style articulation with the high dumbbell joint up top. You also get traditional waist on this one. Leg does go up for the big boot if you need it to. Thigh cut. Yep, we got that going on. Double jointed. Pinless knees, the hits continue. Boot cut, ankle articulation, just missing the toe articulation for my friend Todd McFarlane. You can't have it all, Todd. You can't have it all. And these were made in China 2025. Now we know about usually Vietnam for Mattel, so China on these. And I believe Jazzware is still in China. Conspiracy? I don't know. It does say WrestlingFigures.com on the bottom of the feet. That's about branding right there. That is smart. If I was any toy maker of any kind of toy line, I don't care if we're talking He-Man, Marvel, whatever, I would put a website on here. Why not? Maybe someday you'll find this, look it up, and who knows what else they'll buy. So it's all about branding at the end of the day. So kudos to Ringside for getting after that. But beside that, very similar as what we saw with Axe. Imagining he's going to fit on a stand. What do you know? Old Axe and Smash. And how about the mask? How easy do they fit on there? Seem to be pretty easy. Yep, slide right over the top. No issues with that. Looking good, Axe and Smash. Have to imagine more people buying this one. This is kind of your everyday classic Demolition, where these feel like more of a moment in time for me personally. Feels like WrestleMania 4. Now, we do get Axe once again. We'll run through these pretty quick. We get Axe in face paint. Like I said, we know this face paint, but it just isn't iconic face paint for me. You got the black and silver attack. Uh-oh, did I get the same head twice? I think I did. Oh, no. You got to be kidding me here. I did get the same head twice. So I had... I don't like that. That's unfortunate. Did I get the same? I didn't get the same head for Smash, but I got the same head twice on Axe out of the pack there. So that's a bit of a bummer if you ask me. I don't know what I can do about that. I guess reach out to Ringside and say, hey, could I get another another head? But I got the exact same head twice for Axe here. So that doesn't do me too well on this point in time. But this head here is the tongue out head. I need the standard head for this one. Ooh, hard times at the office here today. But it does look like Axe. I guess we won't go through that second head. I'll have to get it for some glamour shots maybe. But once again, it's Demolition. It's the same body, same everything. Basically, it's just different face paint. And it's really the same figure selling to us twice is what we got going on here. Looks good, though. It still looks good, but boy, I don't like missing one of those heads. That's very unfortunate. Very unfortunate for me. Why couldn't that have happened to you? Well, why did it have to be me? Why did it have to be me? I don't want to have to deal with that whole rigmarole. Here we are. But now we move over to Smash. It's time for the Smasher. Did get both heads with Smash. Same heads once again. The face paint is just differently. And I will say the yellow was always iconic to me too. So I think of this Smash face paint. I think of this one. I don't think of this one very often. And I definitely think of the Axe on the regular release a little bit more. But the Demolition, they had a few different face paints. They could easily go back and get the very original face paints, which weren't as delicate or intricate, more the right word there. But I do like both these head sculpts on Smash. Just a bummer. Oh, it's in my craw that I got two of the wrong heads. That's too bad. That's too bad for me. Too bad for me. But there it is. Variant Edition, Axe and Smash. I just got to figure out which way and which set I want to display which way. But very, very fun. Very iconic is Demolition. I am here for that. And of course, the masks fit very easily across the board, but I put it on Axe this time. How about that? How about that? But how about some comparisons? First, let's go to the Ringside Collectibles Legion of Doom here. You can't have Hawk and Animal without a little Demolition feud. Now, we can have it thanks to Ringside. I will say, against Demolition, Hawk and Animal look a little smaller. They should be bigger than Demolition, at least in my brain. So maybe one day we'll get another set. I don't know if that'll happen or not. But a little bit small compared to Demolition, personally, right there for me. Now, some of the other Demolitions we've had over the years, you obviously got the Mattel versions. See how they stack up? Very similar. I could see people fudging these in with their Mattels. If they're not happy with the new upcoming Mattels, they want to use these instead. I don't think it's a bad thing to be able to mix these with Mattels. I think it's easily done and obviously very easy to mix with Jazzwares figures. You can see how they square up right there. And we're not done. We got the Matte Maniacs we just recently unboxed on the channel. Not quite the same scale. I'm not going to bring out all my Demolition figures. We'll be here all day. Stay tuned. Probably sometime early next year, we'll do a top 10 Demolition unboxing. Is probably what we're going to have to do. Or top 10 countdown is probably what we're going to have to do. But there's those Matte Maniacs we just recently unboxed on the channel. If you missed out on those, check out that video. And then we got Classic Superstars Axe and Smash. We got 3 different versions over there. This is the Toys R Us Tag Team exclusive Once Upon a Time. Always loved this version of Demolition. Very, very cool. I wonder how hard it is. Yeah, those fit on there pretty nice, actually. A little tight, but they could work in a pinch if you needed to. Same thing probably with the Mattel versions right over here. You could easily put those on there if you really wanted to. So there is some options here if you want to reuse some of these pieces, mix and match, choose your own Demolition adventure. You can easily do that. But another home run set here. I do think a little bit of the shine with Mattel having Demolition right around the corner as well. Took a little bit of shine off this one, but if we would have got these before we knew about Mattel, I think our minds would have been blown. That being said, though, still absolutely awesome to get Demolition and really awesome to get this many Demolition sets between many toy lines as we close off 2025. We went so long with no Demolition to just having Demolition overload. Man, I am here for that. Very, very fun, and kudos for Ringside for coming to the plate with these. Unfortunately for me, I did get 2 Axe heads. I'll have to square that one out, but is what it is. You can't fight City Hall someday. It's all about the luck of the draw. But Demolition Unsanctioned Classic Superstars available from Ringside right now. Be interested to hear your thoughts on this set. Is it a pickup for you? Is it a pass? Long game? No game? What are you doing with Demolition as we close out 2025? You getting them all? And if you aren't, which ones are you getting? Let me know in the comments down below. And of course, don't forget to like this video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Turn on the old notification bell as we got videos every single day. And then some. Check out Patreon, YouTube channel memberships. Sir Paul64 on the X, _Kyle_Peterson on Threads, Instagram, TikTok, and TheKylePetersonShow at gmail.com, which is also the name of my podcast, The Kyle Peterson Show, available every Tuesday wherever podcasts are found, with video cast on YouTube. So for Demolition, I'm Kyle. See you guys all real soon.
Are we gonna dance or are we gonna play?